start taking the responsibilities you want on. In life, a lot of responsibilities seem to be placed upon us when we don't even have a choice or a say in the matter. That's exactly what leads to resentment, not being able to choose what responsibilities we want, and them being placed on us and feeling like a burden. I think you should choose responsibilities to take on that bring you benefit, bring you development, challenge you, but that are on your terms. I think a big reason why people take on more responsibility, more burden than they even want, is because they feel pressured to do so. This could be a financial burden that you feel you have to take on for some reason, whether that's, your spouse tells you need to get a new car. Maybe you're told it's time to upgrade your house. But being pressured to do things the right way isn't always in your benefit, especially if it brings undue stress and the rewards don't seem to outweigh the cons of the weight, the gravity of it all. Especially for younger people, us in our 20s, it's time to push yourself, yes, to take responsibility, absolutely, but not overburden yourself with things you didn't ask for or don't want. And so really be clear on yourself when you're making or taking on a big decision, a big responsibility. Is this something you're willing to prioritize over other areas in your life? Or is it maybe not the time yet for that? I know for me, it's finances. 100%. That is my biggest stress. That is my biggest burden. Feeling I need to spend money a certain way. I need to have a certain lifestyle. That is probably a big responsibility that I don't necessarily think I want as much anymore. I'd rather have less of a financial burden on me so I can enjoy other areas of my life, which is what I'm trying to do. Be more creative, spend more time playing the guitar, playing the drums, singing, dancing, seeing friends, working out, focusing on my health. Those are areas I value equally, if not more, to just career and finances. And so I feel I've overextended and overburdened myself. And, I'm taking steps to amend that, taking steps to save more money, to live, more frugally. Don't worry, the cigar only cost me like $7 Canadian. Wasn't much. Worth it. Tastes like a $7 cigar. Yeah, what are the right responsibilities then? What are the right burdens for you to choose? Well, I think that comes to where you are in your life and what phase in your life you're at. Um, while it is immature to think that you can have no responsibilities and have no burdens placed on you and still grow in life, you want to be really careful of what you're taking on. Right? Is it time to take on the burden of working long hours to advance your career? If that's the right thing for you, then take that on. But is it also the time to start a family at that exact moment? You got to ask yourself that. That might be overextending yourself, stressing yourself out, where you have, you know, weakened capacity in both regards. I mean, a good example of when you should push and should work hard is, for example, if you're a student and you need to work at the same time, you're trying to balance that and a social life. Those are hardships that you take on, but there's a reason. You're getting the education, hopefully, for a reason. You know what kind of job or career you get into. It's hopefully an interest or a passion. And then you're working to pay for that, to save money, hopefully. I know I haven't in the past. Very guilty of that. And then, of course, you need a social life. You need friends. You need to work on those skills. You need to live life. Those are times when burdens, responsibilities do make sense to have because there's a reason, right? You see an outcome, an end goal, an end state that you can achieve by doing it. When you take on endless responsibility and it doesn't necessarily lead to anywhere and it never ends, now that is where you're gonna blow up your life at some point because it's too much to handle. I mean, I'm guilty of feeling like that I want to blow up my life and just, you know, leave everything behind and not have any responsibilities. And that's a common symptom of not taking care of yourself, of not prioritizing things that matter to you, your creativity, your energy, your health. And we all have different degrees of how much burden we're able to take on before we snap. I know mine's a lot lower. I mean, I coined the term as tolerance for discomfort, right? Like, how much shit can you take before you need to change your situation? For me, if I don't see an end state, like a way to win it or overcome it, or a benefit that's gained from discomfort, I'll move on instantly because I see no point in it. Why would I waste my time? Other people can endure more hardship, whether we think quite literally like a construction worker, working really hard, maybe it's 12 hours a day, working hard for their money. They're able to just do it, get to work hard. Yes, there are some downsides that in order to relax, that you're then more likely perhaps to turn to alcohol or weed. Because if you work so hard all the time, you need to downregulate unless you have worked on your meditation and breath work and all that good stuff. You're probably going to turn to something maybe not so good for you. The benefit of being able to push through things and have a high tolerance is that if there is a good outcome at the end of it, you could push through for longer. The downside is that I think a lot of people do something for so long they don't like when there is no actual outcome. They don't get promotion or a new career or just magically. They have to make big life changes, make big decisions in order to achieve a better state versus them being comfortable in discomfort. I know I am very uncomfortable in discomfort. And so if I don't see a real outcome, say in the next 3 6 months, I'm really not comfortable doing that. So again, I move quick, but sometimes I might move too quickly before something good could come out of it. This is all just to bring back the point that you should choose, really be cognizant of what responsibilities, what burdens you're placing upon yourself. Why are you doing it? Is it for a better life? Or are you just going with the flow and doing what you think you're supposed to do? Maybe being pressured by other people telling you what's normal, what you should be doing. I know I really dislike feeling that I'm wasting my time, that I'm stagnant, I have a burden on me and I don't see a reason for it, or I don't see a way to get out of it, and that's my life stage where I'm not willing to take on too many burdens unless it's helping me grow, helping me enjoy life more, helping me build new skills, new experiences. Not to say that I'm not willing to do the hard work, but that I need to see a reason for the hard work. So choose your responsibility and choose wisely.